You are a source tower. You have gifts, skills, talents, and abilities that naturally exist in you that you are gaining more and more and more access to. Request that your words, your art, your message, your talents will land on those that it exactly is meant to, on the ears and the eyes for those that your true self is meant to serve and impact, not for attention or gains or followers or likes, but simply because you are connecting on the deepest soul and cellular level that is most fulfilling for you and those that it meets, for those that you meet, for those that you share a shared, authentic experience with. And that inspires, and that's what grows in you, in them. You are the poem. You are your own therapist. You are the answer. And so when you show up in the state of your own presence, the words naturally flow through you. So welcome. I'm Amanda Baker. This is a recording for You Amaze Me vlog, podcast, random streams of consciousness. This is where soul meets story and story meets soul. And whatever is meant to show up here in the next several moments, half hour, hour, however long it lasts, is exactly what is needed in this moment, whether it touches one person or many more. So let's begin. Breathe. Be here. Be here with me. Maybe you place one hand on your chest or your heart. Feel your own rhythm as you begin to open your eyes, your ears, your heart to be the receiver, to be receptive in this connection between you and higher states of consciousness and the creative intelligence. That you do not need to change anything about yourself in order to attract more. That by being you, through awareness, and through the relationship that you have with yourself, you naturally are the receptor. You remain the receptor. So, great. Drop down into a grounded state. And if this is all that you need, then take it. Or if you want to stay for more, notice, choose. When did we learn that sadness, anxiety, uneasiness, embarrassment, grief, guilt was something to change, fix, solve, figure out, was a problem? You know, I'm a therapist, and many people come in and they come to see me, and they're like, "Oh, I have depression, I have anxiety. We need to do something about it. It's creating disruption in my life." And through curiosity, often it is not the depression, it is not the sadness. So I can differentiate depression being more a de-expression. So kind of this disconnection from the emotion. So the emotions are maybe too painful, or really the opinion about the story about the emotions are too painful, that then the system will protect itself and shut itself down to where you might feel despair, misery, agony, numbness, dissociation, no motivation, social isolation, suicidal ideation, all these things that stem from when we're not open to feeling. So it's really all about feeling. And what I support people in, help people in, work one-on-one and group settings with people is to be a better feeler, not necessarily to feel better. And so if we look at our emotions as a problem, as an inconvenience, as a burden, then of course we're going to want to get rid of them. And so we might seek out the how to no longer be anxious, how to know how to come out of your depression. And I want to support people with that too. To come out of the depression means you might have to be with that sadness and that anger or that embarrassment or that shame. We shame our emotions from learned experiences. That when you cried maybe as a kid and other people tried to feel better, get you to feel better, make you happy, then the learned experiences, sadness is something that needs to be changed. Though, can we open up to other perspectives? Is there a beauty in sadness? Is there something that you may actually like about being sad? What are the benefits? What's the value? What's the worthiness of sadness? What's the worthiness of even detachment? What experience do you have when you are sad? What do you tell yourself about it? I don't like this. It's uncomfortable. Why? What is so uncomfortable about an emotion that's letting you know that something hurt you? It's not necessarily about never personalizing anything and never being hurt. It's about, how do I feel towards this hurt? And is there anything within me that may actually be satisfied or have some level of like twisted pleasure from the hurt? The hurt lets you know that you are alive. The sadness lets you know that you are alive. The disappointment lets you know, or ignites you to feel alive. And when you open yourself up, as opposed to closing yourself off to the sadness, to the fear, through all these protective mechanisms of, I'm going to distract myself, or I'm going to excessively shop, I'm going to exercise and run. And those are great things. And they also push down the emotions that many people are terrified to feel or judge. And so some of the mechanisms that you've learned to then feel good come from the detachment of, I've been closed off for so long that the way that I now start to feel good or pleasure is through the dopamine hits. And that might be through scrolling on social media, excessively shopping, gambling, sex, drugs, these addictive habits, overworking, seeking validation and praise, getting more likes and attention, making more money. They're all ways that you are channeling to feel alive. What if you could authentically feel alive? What if you feel alive by showing up here and talking like I do? Maybe not to anyone, but I feel alive in this moment. There's something moving through me. What's moving through you? I can feel alive in this moment. I can feel the fulfillment, the satisfaction of sharing something presently, and then later upload it and be like, no one watched it. Well, now I'm disappointed. That was for nothing. See how I now discounted the present moment that I had before that felt so worthy of me showing up and speaking? Every moment with what you are in is an indicator of your aliveness. It's when we then judge that through our own perspectives and opinions and inner critique that then you start to dismiss yourself, reject what's showing up for you. So if you're pulling for your phone and you're scrolling and you're like, I feel alive in this moment, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit more satisfying than the moment that I had before where I felt sad or detached because I don't like that feeling. Everything within you is for your aliveness. You were born here with a beating heart, air to breathe, a mind that's outside of your brain, or maybe it's in there, we can't see it, that's connected to something that brings you your ideas and your inspiration to breathe spirit into the world or into another. May your sadness inspire. What is inspiring you about the sadness that you have been afraid to touch, to feel, to experience? Maybe because someone shamed it. Not maybe on purpose, but they didn't listen. So now it's on you. You're here to be open to your present experience and to lean into that from a place of curiosity and from a place of connection with whatever twisted level of satisfaction or awkward, weird, strange pleasure you might actually be getting from the experience, from the chaos. If you are feeling like constantly defeated. Is there anything about that level of defeat or about your experience of defeat that is worthy? Not because the experts or others are saying per se, oh, failure like helps you to, I mean, this could be it. This could be it for you. That failure propels you to get back up and try again. For some people, failure is so agonizing that they're embarrassed and they're like, no, I'm done. I failed. Or they refuse to fail because of the association of own judgment, embarrassment, I'm not good enough. But perhaps it's not just that the failure propels you to get up and go at it again because you don't want to feel the failure. That's different. It's first, I feel the failure and I maybe confirmed my self fulfilling prophecy and I like being right. Is there something within you that likes being right? Is there some story of getting involved in the failure because then you get to triumph? You don't get to be the one that rises if you don't have the failure. Can we appreciate? May you appreciate the failure. May you appreciate, may you feel that ignition, that spark from doing the not socially acceptable thing. Maybe there's something thrilling about it. Consider it. What's a new relationship that you may have with your own emotional experiences, with your own habits and your own patterns that you may be repeating? What's your definition of success? How do you inspire and what inspires you? To request that your message, your art, your creativity lands for those that are meant to hear it and that it's meant to impact on the cellular level, the level of your authentic being. So it's interesting. I have this alchemized community that I created that originally came to me as an idea of a course. I have a lot of recorded videos of my yoga, breath work, meditation, mindfulness, me just speaking stream of consciousness. And I wanted to share them. And I was like, oh, this can be all put on one platform. And then people will want to potentially watch it and gain something from it. And it came about in a very flow-like state back in early January. And I just made it. I made it, not knowing really what the impact would be or what would magnetize from it was the community part. So this was a course in community, online course. You have access, like I said, to recorded videos and to the community. And most people who signed up are my clients, my yoga students, some other therapists who are local to the Baltimore, Maryland area. And we would meet various topics, talk about topics related to mental health, anxiety, depression, attachment styles, trauma, ADHD, doing meditations and yoga, and a lot of vulnerability and self-disclosure. And then that evolved into, let's go out and do activities together. Let's have a potluck. Let's go to cold plunge and sauna. Let's go to a medium. We're doing that. And that's not what my original vision was. I didn't know what my original vision was, aside from I have this content, so to speak, this creativity, these modalities that I created and share. And to come together in connection and community in a way that wasn't planned, and to hear the feedback from these people about what is it that was so magnetizing for you to want to join this, for you to want to be a part of Alchemize. And the feedback that I got, if you're open to it and you want to listen, I will read it. Not because it's, I don't even know what to say. I'm like, not because it's like boasting about me. I mean, it feels amazing. It does, because I feel like I'm open to my gifts, my talents, and my abilities, not even fully on the conscious level where I can articulate it into words. I want to read it because of it's almost like experimentation that I wasn't know that I was running. And here's the results. And the results are not some how to fix your attachment style or how to come out of your anxiety and depression, or how to, or here's a strategy, like 10 days and you will be living the life of your dreams. I'm not promising any of that. What I am promising is presence and a shared experience. And it might not be comfortable, because it's through that. It is through being in a place that feels welcoming and safe, with the circumstances and the ingredients where you are present, and that you have access to that every single moment. But some circumstances support that more for yourself. Being around like-minded people, wanting to show up to a community event because you feel called to, even if there's some fear. But there's a difference between fear from a place of I'm unworthy, so I need to do this, or I've been told that my ADHD is too much, or I feel overwhelmed and I'm distracted and I'm not doing enough per expectations that are outside of yourself, that you learned that might actually be coming from you, but they're programmed, versus I'm anxious and I'm fearful because I haven't been this vulnerable before. And so to show up to a community of people and to be there is scary for me, because will I be accepted? But you may know on the deep internal level that you're worthy of being there. So something is propelling you while there's also fear and anxiety. It's a different energy behind it. And it just comes over time in a listening to yourself, and that there might be something that actually likes the thrill of the anxiety, the intensity of your stress response, of what feels like home. Lean into that. Not, oh, this feels like home because of my upbringing and my trauma. Take that out of it. It feels like home. So you like it. You want it. You crave it. It's intoxicating. Lean into it. You have the capacity for that level of, I'm going to say turmoil, even if it leads to turmoil. Sit with that. If you're here and if you're listening, you're safe in this moment. You made it. You survived here. You've already survived. You are already whole. And if you're stuck in a situation that feels hurtful and harmful to you, you can lean into whatever, again, twisted part of you, weird part of you, human part of you that likes it, because it does feel like home. Doesn't mean you're going to stay in it. You won't. If it's abusive, you won't. There are resources there to support you to come out of that. And you have the courage to do that. Just because you accept something doesn't mean that you're going to continue to do it if it is harmful and abusive and violent. But when you realize after of the underlying weird satisfaction that you might get, you become the one empowered over it instead of it overpowering you, the energy of it. Do you like being dominated and controlled? Do you like being told what to do? Do you like have someone telling you what to do? You might not actually realize that there's something about it that feels like home. If abandonment feels like home, doesn't mean you continue to tolerate it, but know that you have the tolerance for it, that you can feel the hurt of it. And it doesn't mean that you're bad or that even this other person is bad. It's not about good or bad. It's, I feel this way. I've been dismissed. I'm not heard. And there's a feeling of that underneath that. Sadness, disappointment, hurt, pain. Think about how you can start to channel that into something that is empowering. Can your pain be channeled into yoga class? My yoga is about getting in the uncomfortable, because there's some charge in that challenge. Or can it be channeled into art and creativity and poetry? Where may you channel that so that you are the one in charge of it? You first need to open yourself up to trusting in your capacity to feel it. It's not that you aren't big enough for that capacity. You already have it. You just don't believe it. If you made it here, look at your capacity. Look at what you have been able to live through. And it's maybe sucked. Maybe it was horrific. That doesn't mean that it was meant to happen or needed to happen or that you deserved it or that you created it. And it's not about learning something from it per se. It's not the take the lesson from your trauma. It's the I experienced this trauma and I can't go back and change it, but I have the capacity to feel something from it. And now can I see and feel the beauty of your own emotion? Because some people experience like a traumatic car accident and it doesn't bother them. It doesn't bring up fear of driving in the future. It doesn't bring up pain and hurt. It just happened. But if it brought something up in you, that is your aliveness. It is showing up for you to take it. And like this precious emotion of unexpected fear, panic, right? A car accident, if I was talking about that, it's like this panic. Oh my gosh, that's shaking me up. That's shaking me up. Freaking shake up. Show yourself. Be big. Feel it strongly. And be like, oh my gosh, I'm so panicked. And can you pair that with love? Not there's something wrong with me, someone calm me down. That is how it is showing up in you. May we respond to every single experience of yourself with one of value, of the emotion that it brings up. And maybe curiosity about the narrative. What are you saying about yourself with this feeling? I need to fix this. I need to change this. I need to numb it. I need to avoid it. Why? Because the more that you avoid the hurt, the anxiety, the inner conflict, the less you feel of the excitement and the thrill of what's real in you. So you'll be chasing the dopamine from the drug. And yeah, lean into that. If that happens, if that's where you are, like, oh my gosh, of course I like this feeling because it makes me feel alive. I'm not sure how to authentically or genuinely feel this aliveness, so I will artificially create it for myself. You are brilliant. You feel that level of aliveness from your sadness. Many, myself included, for a while have felt like my sadness needs to go away. My sadness needs to go away. And I was terrified. If my sadness goes away, then I'm not going to be creative. I'm not going to have my art that I I co-create these experiences in my life that perpetually lead me to some point feeling heartbroken. This is my heart. Oh my gosh, my heart is so big. My heart is so full. My heart is so easily able to be broken. It's not broken. It's just that semantics. But that's my own perception. There's people who really didn't hurt me per se, but I perceived it that way because then I can put that into something that I love creating. The poem, the movement, the wisdom that then comes through this. That it's not that I love my trauma. It's the sadness that comes from it. It's the power that comes from. I get to digest this sadness and then channel it into something of creation. And that's what most humans are drawn to, the realness, the humanness. So anyway, going back to the responses from the survey from my Alchemize group, because the results astounded me. I was waiting to kind of get some information on some sort of niche that I could cater to. Like, okay, maybe people want to work on relationships, or maybe people want to work on how to have more abundance and wealth in their life, magnetize what they want for themselves. And or again, it's like, oh no, I want the healing modality of yoga, or Amanda's tapping, meditations, or the information in the books that Amanda recommends. None of that was in there. Not one comment or feedback was about a niche. Even though I know my niche is helping or gaining access to your innate talents and skills and abilities. But where does that come from? You and your presence. And I'm that mirror. And so the feedback that I got was what drew you to Alchemize, what drew people to be a part of this community, to spending time together. And so here we go. All right. What drew you to join Alchemize? Amanda. After taking her yoga classes, workshops, and individual therapy for years, I have unlocked self-love and self-acceptance that I've never experienced before. Amanda is magic, and I will try anything she does. I was also interested in self-discovery and transformation to heal my inner child, attachment issues, and generalized anxiety and realize myself. What drew you to join Alchemize? Amanda and looking to build community with like-minded people. What drew you to Alchemize? Amanda and my love for yoga and learning about the magic in the universe. What drew you to Alchemize? You did, Amanda. Your amazing presence is what drew me to Alchemize. What if it's your presence in itself? And this is what I say. Maybe this is more the message. Your presence and being with your experience, opening yourself up to your experience that you have without the shame, to be shameless of your bipolar, your narcissism, your emotions of up and down, your loudness, your drama, your addiction, to be shameless of your disorder, to find the value and the worthiness of the label that you've been given or that you've subconsciously even given yourself, or that has been passed down. Maybe genetically, you have the chemical imbalance of bipolar disorder. It is unique to you. Your bipolar, your PTSD, your ADHD is unique to you, even if it's similar to other people. And again, we are all connected. And so no wonder some of us all have, or we all, my belief, we all have some of this within us. We are all most likely addicted to something because there's something about the duality of it, of the highs and the lows, of the motivation to experience that spark. But does that spark that you are drawn to, that you're craving, that you're intoxicated by, have to come in only that way? Is the drug the only thing that's going to give you that spark of aliveness? Or can you authentically create it by leaning in to what you've been avoiding from your own shame or judgment and fear? May you see what is so divinely aligned within you. Here's another comment. I bought the course in the community to have more of you and see behind the scenes of your magic. I haven't kept up so much with the online course, so bringing it into the community is a great way for us to stay and get back on track. So I have come to recognize that a lot of people are drawn to certain strategies of marketing and what's out there to try to fix what you might believe is a problem within yourself. And there's people, and I don't want to cater to those people. I'm not going to land with those people, no matter how much I try to follow a marketing strategy. I'm just not, because that's not who I am. So then I will feel disappointed, like, here, let me use these words because that's what the algorithm is going to send out to more and more. And maybe people will like it. But if I followed what somebody else said is the right way, and if it doesn't land in my heart as feeling right for me, then I'm catering to strangers on the internet. And I want a resonance genuinely with like-minded souls on the internet, or people in local form. And so what this is going to be moving into is the opportunity to have group together where you get more of me and you. Opportunity to show up in a group with hot seat therapy, not coaching, therapy, in front of others. Are you courageous enough for that? To be in front of a ton of people? Maybe not a ton, maybe 5, maybe 3, maybe 50, and let yourself be seen. A therapy session in front of others. Because therapy has been locked in this private box with confidentiality and power dynamics and control. Are you open for that? You want more of you. It feels good to be you. Others will resonate to you if you are here. This is about you. Let that land. Let's pick a card. Here's a story. So I have a client who uh, recommended a deck. So a lot of my clients know that I love Oracle decks, Oracle and Tarot decks. I use them in, if you've watched these other videos, I use them in the videos and as a part of therapy, more so to have the resonance of the word. Uh, and they recommended a deck on intuition. And I thought that I was looking up that specific deck. They were like, Amanda, I got this deck. I really think you'd like it. So I was like, okay, cool. I want to get it. So I looked it up online. And then instead of getting that deck, that particular intuition deck, I wasn't even exactly sure which one it was because I didn't know the exact title. But I was like, oh, that one might be it. But I'm drawn to this one. So this is the Prism Oracle deck that's tapping into your intuition with the magic of color. So I got this one. Saw that client the next week and I said, hey, I got this deck. I know you recommended a different deck to me, but this one caught my attention. So I got this one. Let's use it. And it was amazing. The client picked a card and they were like, I don't think this card is for me. It's for you. And so they picked it and it ended up being for me. And then I picked a card and I was like, now I have to pick a card and it's going to be for you. So spot on. Their color was purple. And I picked a card for them that ended up being purple randomly in the deck. So then later that day, I get a package in the mail. And in the package was this deck. That same day, the deck that the client had recommended, not from them, from a different person, from a different client. They said, I saw this and I knew you had to have it. So that's magic. You're drawn to me because of my magic, because that magic is in you. And I'm not here to cater to draw more people into my magic. I am here to cater to the people that are willing to open up to their own magic. And that magic is your essence. That magic is your gifts, your talents, not from what anyone tells you how to be so that you have a bigger audience or that you make more money. That's a part of it. But if you are contorting and adjusting yourself, if you're people pleasing on the macro level, because you're like, oh, my audience wants me to give them a strategy on being better time management. Why do you believe you need better time management? Where does that come from? Have that self-inquiry. If you're attracted to people who are emotionally unavailable, why is that a problem? Why are you trying to cure that? Why are you trying to fix that? Because, oh, Amanda, they leave me and then I feel rejected or they can't meet me where I am and I'm not getting the emotional attunement that I need. Something within you gets some sort of pleasure within that, some sort of thrill. That is the unconscious way of feeling alive because that's home. That's home. And when you claim home, when you claim this is the only way right now, this is the main way right now for me to feel like home, feel into the feeling of home. And there's a lot of fear that people have of then, oh, well, then I'm going to keep repeating it. No, you're repeating it because you're unconscious to it. You're repeating it because you're denying that you actually gain something from the pattern. And when you can sit with it yourself, imagine, oh my goodness, I feel this thrill from this dynamic, from my own anxious attachment or from my own avoidant attachment, from my own insecurity. I feel a thrill of having people criticize me and feeling embarrassed and humiliated. That's really hard for people to admit. And many are going to say, no, Amanda, no, I don't. Well, if you're unconscious to it, yeah. But if you can lean in, what do you get from that? Sympathy, attention, pity, the self-fulfilling prophecy, the victim mentality, or someone telling you what to do and how to be. That's easier. Oh, it's easier when someone tells me the way, the path of least resistance. When you can lean into that while also knowing that a part of you wants the power, you will receive it. You will hold it because you're in the energetic state of home. And that will evolve to your true home, not the home of the rejection and the abandonment, but just home, I want to feel like home, and there will be a new home feeling that's going to feel like home. It's so hard to put this into words. But if you can get to what feels good, even through the dark, because we all have it, that's the alchemy. That's what alchemy is, turning the lead into gold. But you gotta be with the lead. You got to like the lead. Appreciate the lead. That's the same frequency as the gold. When you put the same frequency on your feelings of shame, hurt, embarrassment, it's less shame. Where if you feel hurt and you don't shame it, you're not going to be in shame. If you feel embarrassed, if you feel criticized and you don't shame that, and you also don't try to come out of it of like, oh no, they told me that they don't like my hair long, so I'm going to cut it because more people want to see me with short hair. Or the criticism that I get is, Amanda, you talk too much. You say too many words and there's no substance. Sometimes some people see the substance, but criticism and feedback that I got is, Amanda, you talk too fast. And Amanda, you say too much and your messages then are too long. And I could be like, oh no, I got to make it shorter so more people watch or more people listen. Or I can be like, well, the people that are willing to stay and hear it, that's enough. That's enough. And I hear the criticism and I might not like something about it. I might feel like small and okay. What will that smallness do if I stay in it instead of trying to come out of it? I stay in it and I'm like, I'm going to write about this. I'm going to feel alive from this. So here's the color prism deck. Maybe we'll choose from the Awakening Intuition deck as well. Okay. This deck is harder to shuffle because it's so new. There's two here. Let's do this one. What do we get? Listen for words of wisdom. Notice what is being said. Wise and well-timed advice from a loved one. A point line delivered from a movie or podcast. Or a conversation overheard on the street that speaks to a situation in your life may hold important intuitive guidance. The written word proves profound. Well, people, that's for you. That is for you and for me in some way, right? 8. Listen for words of wisdom. All you have to do is take the mess of this message. Like Amanda got on there and she talked for 47 minutes and barely said anything at all. And what do I like about? What do you like to do? Simply for fun that serves. Not for earning or reward or monetary gain, but simply because it resonates and it's the moment you want to be in, where you feel at home. And home can sometimes feel like this, and home can also feel like the thrill and the chaos. That's the existential kink. If you can own your secret pleasure, what do you do in secret that's pleasurable? We also do it in our regular life that we're not acknowledging until now. You have it right now. What is a pattern or habit that you keep repeating that you feel like is problematic that you might actually gain some benefit and thrill and satisfaction from? And will you let yourself feel it? Open yourself up, listen to a meditation, and go into the feeling of your vitality when you feel most alive. And you might feel alive from a lot of validation. If that's the artificial kind, feel into it and then open yourself up for it to come out in your authentic power. Keep repeating the pattern. That's okay. When you consciously know that that's the pattern, your subconscious is going to alter itself to create that feeling in a healthy, channeled way. Naturally, you don't need the how-to steps. It's your presence. It's feeling alive in the full human experience of all of your emotions. And not everyone's going to get this. That's okay. 8, 8, 8. Listen for words of wisdom. Pay close attention to what is being said right now. This is my chills. I seriously have chills. Because this was the message of this talk. It's the reinforcement. Not because there's comments on here that say, Amanda, great job. This includes what's being said directly to you and even as what's being said around you that you may overhear. Looking back, we often realize that we were given wise, well-timed advice or a loving warning, which was intended to help you navigate the present and future more optimally. Many times it's only via hindsight that we realize that this spirit was speaking through us through other people. Sometimes we can only connect the dots afterwards. Other times we can slow down, be more present, and actually hear both with your physical ears and important wisdom. So sometimes the feedback or the advice that people are giving are not actually the concrete advice. So if someone is saying, hey, Amanda, you need to not speak so fast, right? And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm talking too fast in my recordings. Maybe that's not the advice. Maybe what is the actual words for me to take in is just slow down in life. Slow down in life. Keep speaking fast in these videos if that's what naturally comes out, but slow down, not in how I'm talking, but so that I'm better connecting with myself and with the present moment. Slow down so I can hear my own self. So the feedback, the criticism of others might not be the exact concrete evidence, or not evidence, but advice. So even what you take of this is how it resonates for you, but you might not get till later. Hear both with your physical ears and your intuitive self. The words around us that contain important wisdom, the invisible fabric of the universe is intricate, and we are all connected by its thread. Don't discount that a seemingly random overheard comment was meant for you. Slow your roll. Don't rush and practice being more present. Quiet your mind so your repetitive worries or mental chatter are not distracting you from what's being said around you. Listen more. Notice what you hear that stays with you. Listen more than talking now. Listen more than talking now. Insight from a colleague or a casual comment keeps coming back to your mind hours and days later. Especially watch out for words said to you directly, indirectly, via a podcast or an audiobook, or overheard conversations that you might immediately want to dismiss, label as wrong, or have a strong negative emotional reaction to. Sometimes this can be a clue there's actually valuable information within these words. If you're hard of hearing, pay attention to words you read in books, articles, or even on t-shirts and mugs. As the words communicated to you through sign language, we all have different ways of listening and being more receptive. Oh, that's so powerful. So powerful. And the green card, rest. Rest. Here we go. Slow down. Listen to this again. And take out just the nuggets. There's a few lines here that are meant for you and also for me, and to be self-inquisitive about it. Let's tap into the side of the hand. Even though I might not always take in the words of wisdom, I accept myself. Even though I might not take the time to really slow down and take in the words of wisdom, I'm okay. Even though I may move too fast from my excitement, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. In that, I love the fast. I love the fast. This is what we're going to do. Come on to the eyebrow. I love the impulsivity. I love the impulsivity. I love the inspiration and taking action when the energy is high. I love the inspiration and taking action when the energy is high. Underneath the eye. Sometimes I react. Sometimes I react underneath the nose and get defensive. The chin, and even rebellious to the chest, or try to fix underneath the arms, because something about it feels good. To the wrist. So I'm leaning into the good. To the top of the head, because I like feeling good. The eyebrow. Even in the hurt and the discomfort. Side of the eye. There might be something enjoyable about that. Underneath the eye. Familiar about that. Underneath the nose. Pleasure about that. the chin. Maybe I like the mess. Maybe I like the mess, the chest. Or maybe I like everything organized and in control. And maybe I like everything organized and in control underneath the arms. I can claim that. I can claim that to the wrist, that there's a home feeling. There's a home feeling, top of the head. And we're all here to feel home. We're all here to feel home, the eyebrow. And so that's how my system created it. That's how my system created it, side of the eye. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it underneath the eye, that maybe depression feels like home. Maybe depression feels like home underneath the nose. And the pleasure just feels good. And the pleasure just feels good to the chin. The high feels alive. The high feels alive to the chest. And the low makes the high feel even better. And the low makes the high feel even better underneath the arm. So I need it. So I need it. The rest, I'm making this conscious. I'm making this conscious, top of the head. And I'm claiming it. I'm reclaiming it. I'm claiming it and I'm reclaiming it. It's the eyebrow. Learning more about myself. Learning more about myself. Taking in the words, even if I don't fully get it right now. Taking in the words, even if I don't fully get it right now, underneath the, because it's happening in the internal level. It's happening in the internal level underneath the nose. And then the words will eventually make sense. The words will eventually make sense. The chin. I'll get breakthroughs and aha moments. I'll get breakthroughs and aha moments, the chest, and so much appreciation. And so much appreciation underneath the arm. There's no rush. There's no rush to the wrist. I get to be present. I get to be present to the top of the head. And all of this will lead me to slowing down. All of this will lead me to slowing down to the eyebrow. I don't have to try so hard. I don't have to try so hard. The side of the eye. I'm just being shown the wisdom. I'm being shown the wisdom underneath the eye and opening up to the guidance and opening up to the guidance underneath the nose, to my intuition, to the chin, to trust the chest. Safety and safety underneath the arm is in me, to the rest. This feeling of home to the top of the head is so beautiful, the eyebrow. And that lets me feel the ease. And that lets me feel the ease to the side of the eye, the peace underneath the eye. I am home. I am home underneath the nose. I'm grounded in the home. I'm grounded in my home. The chin. As above, so below. As above, so below. As within, so without. As within, so without. Underneath the arm. Thank you. Thank you. To the wrist. It's radiant and beautiful. It's radiant and beautiful. Top of the head. In light, love, magic, and miracles. In light and love and magic and miracles. Release the hand. You are pure magic. Thank you for showing up for you and being here with me. If you'd like to check out Alchemize, feel free to go to my website, Amanda Baker Writes, WRITES.com, where we will be moving into group therapy sessions with a person chosen at each session to be in the hot seat for hot seat therapy in front of others, if you have the courage to show up presently as you in your full, shared, authentic experience of all the emotions, to feel alive and ignited and closer to your gifts, your talents, and your abilities, to show up as you and know that you are magnetizing and landing for the people that are impacted by your words, your message, your art, your creativity. You amaze me. I love you.